Hey guys, this is Simon with ToughTrader.com and Trade and Perform Coaching, doing a trade review for the 14th of November. The goal of the trade review is to tie in what the trade plan was in the morning, right, to what we actually did during the day, and see what we could have done today better to improve the trading results, if anything, right? And of course, always there's something to learn from the markets. Before we get started on the trade review, quick disclaimer, past performance is not indicative of future results. This is for educational purposes only. I'm sharing my trade plan with you in hopes that it'll make you a better trader, right? My goal is simply that. That's the whole purpose of the room, is to help people understand markets better and understand how they can take advantage of the opportunities in markets to make money for themselves, and importantly, avoid blowing up. Rule number one, don't blow up. Rule number two, if you're drawing down consistently, stop trading, review your trade plan. You are missing something. If you are losing consistently, you are doing something wrong. Stop and adjust. Okay, so let's get started. First, the trade plan for the day. Our primary trade plan was to look for rotations down for longs at key locations, at the white zones, primarily the highest odds locations, and the yellow zones, second highest locations. So we're going to do NQ first. We were gapping down, right? And anytime anyone comes the market gaps down, people get excited. Some people think it's an opportunity to get long and we're going to shoot for the moon, back up into the gap fill. Some people get uber bearish and think we're going to roll down. I don't think either one. What I think is, I know that I have trade location. I know that I am generally bullish at this stage in the market, and that I want pushes down into key locations for longs. So jumping into the day for the NASDAQ, we had two key locations that were close to the open, 62.79 3/4 to 62.73, and then 62.66 down to 62.55. And if you look at the market preview, which is posted on the YouTube channel, please subscribe to that, by the way, if you'd like to get the early notices to the following day's market preview or the day's trade review, right? So first touch, I was looking to get long at 62.79 3/4. I was long. This gave me a rotation from 62.79. Now, what was my goal? I would have liked to push it back up to the white zone, which I thought was my next resistance point, 63.02. You see we opened up 62.79. This is why I scale along the way, because you never know how far or what the market's going to do. So my initial goal out of this zone was 10 points. You'll see we entered at 62.79 3/4, and it rolls up to 62.93.94. That gives you your 10 points. That's $200 a contract, guys. That's a very, very good trade, right? I'm not thinking bearish or bullish at this point. I'm thinking I got my primary trade location. We were unable to fill the gap. Market rolls back down. And now I'm looking for my next location, 62.66. Again, these charts were posted last night prior to today's open, right? First touching to 62.66. Now realize this trade pushed almost back to 63.02. That's over 30 points a contract that was available on the maximum favorable excursion. $600 a contract out of the white zone. Realize the value added. The room, members pay for the room, $95 a month, right? When you pay for anything, you want to get a good value. If that's not a good value, getting specific location, I certainly don't know what is, right? Here was the biggest problem of the day. We failed to overlap prior day's value, right? And we couldn't get back up on that second push. And then we consolidated sideways through here, right? And this became a problem. What most traders, I have a feeling, were looking for, myself included, was a push to close this gap. That's a pretty natural trade. If you look on StockTwits or Twitter, you'll see all kinds of rookies talking about my goal is gap fill. People have gotten used to gap fill. They're not very bullish. They're not very bearish when we get these V shapes, and they're not used to this price action shifting two ways, right? This is really important. We're trading underneath prior day's value, and what I mean by that, I'm going to pull this over. Okay, so this is NQ, but an ES picture looks pretty much the same. We've gapped down in the first 30 minutes. We have not traded back into the prior day's value area, which is this pink highlighted area here. When we don't do that within the first 30 minutes, we don't fill the gap in the first 30 minutes, we tend to push away and back to an extreme, even if we make an attempt up initially. So you're left with a conundrum, right? From a trading standpoint, you've got a V shape, right? That's bullish. We've gotten above our last seller, which if you've seen my prior videos, I talk about how to find major reversals. Once we get above the last seller, I'm always pretty concerned. You'll see those 50, 60 retraces that we were working. Let's get rid of this. There we go. We got above our last seller. That's bullish. Now all we had to do was get past 6302 to 6305. We couldn't. Once we traded sideways, you'll see that I wrote to the members in the room that, let me see if I can find this here. So this is the private Twitter stream. And what I wrote, see if I can find this here. Has to be right in here, and I know that I put it out. Here we go. So if you look, I posted this at 11 a.m., I believe, Central Time. Let's see, here we go. So if you look at the time, 9:44 California, 11:44 Texas time, and I said a continued push up will be difficult now. And the reason for that is bulls did not want to see that consolidate at the high. They wanted to see that push on through, right? Brief pause, then continuation higher. If you look, this is when I wrote that note. This is 11:44 right here. So that's when I posted this note. I said continuation higher. Obviously, I couldn't have known we were going to roll all the way down. Continuation higher will now be difficult from this point, and we roll all the way back. Now, here's what changes on the day. All we did was we traveled intraday to the bottom end of value and a little bit past, but on, I always call news events negative news events, but I try not to read too much into those news events, right? Had this been really bad, we would have broken the low here. And if you look at ES at the same time of day, right, ES pretty much mirrored NQ today. If you look, we couldn't even make it halfway back, right, on that same news. NQ was much thinner, right, and swept most of the range, but ES didn't. So that news, I sit back. This is where you look at structure and you kind of make trading decisions. If the news was really bad, ES would have gone down hand in hand with NQ. That's the first clue that it's not bad. Secondly, if we are going to break, we would not have gotten back above our last seller. We get back above our last seller. Immediately, shorts are off the table, right? And then we have a poor high up here. This is already rejected, and I thought we should be able to make some attempt, if not today, maybe tonight, back above this area. And you can see from the lows on ES, we get back above the last seller. It is all over, and ES pushes up to the swing high of the afternoon at 25.78. Those are all really so one part goes into the pre-planning section of the day, right? That's what the yellow and the white zones are. I pretty much know I'm going to take trades in those locations because I have a high degree of confidence in my ability to place those zones in good areas. The second part of that process is, how's the day structure developing, right? That's the value of the room. We can see how the day structure is developing. We know when the market's pretty much sold out or when it's bought out and it's going to turn the other direction. We're starting to look for trades. That's the value added of being in the room, right? And then we know when we get above our last buyer or below our last buyer and above our last seller that we have a good chance of reversing back in the other direction or to see two-way trades starting to take place, right? Most traders who've learned to trade the last couple of months are not very familiar with this two-way action, right? We'll come all the way down, all the way up, and then roll all the way back down again just to sweep the range, right? The majority of the process has been pushed down, buy the lows, come up, trade sideways, and push out. So a lot of people are getting reintroduced to some really nasty trading, and I certainly hope that no one in the room is getting kiboshed by I certainly hope no one's getting kiboshed by the new rotations. We certainly are not. This is old hat. I've been trading for 20 years. This to me is normal price action, not abnormal price action. And you can see at the end of the day, we just ended up with a wide-ranging balanced day. The last key, so we've covered three things. So let's summarize to make sure we've got it. First of all, for members who are less sophisticated, first touch of the yellow zone, first touch of the white zone, that paid in both NQ and ES. Unquestionably, here's NQ, first touch, second touch. If that's all you had, you did very well with your trading day. Secondly, we recognized that we were no longer short once we got above this level, and we recognized that we were no longer long once we consolidated in this area for too long, right? Avoiding giving back profits all the way back down. We got above our last seller once again, and we recognized that we were going to push up. And you can see again, part of the value in the room when I Let me get rid of this. And you can see again in the Twitter, I said, I put this in, this is about 2 hours ago now, and I said, we currently have a poor high on the day. Market usually likes to fix that. We also have a solid low that cannot get retested with help of a news event. I think that this opens up to a retest of the highs on ES, right? And that's exactly, if you go look at ES, right? That's exactly what happened. That information is valuable in two ways. First of all, it told me not to short, right? And secondly, it told me to look for long location if I could get it for the push up into the end of the day, which put profit hopefully in members' pockets, right? For those who were able to take advantage of it. So my name is Simon. I'm with toughtrader.com and Trade and Perform Coaching. If you'd like to come visit our room for a 5-day free trial, please email me at TradeInPerform, TRADEN as in Nancy, perform, all one word, at gmail.com. I'm happy to extend a 5-day free trial. And I have opened the room to the market previews for anyone who'd like to join. Look for the link to get posted in the StockTwits and the Twitter stream. And if you would, please subscribe and like the videos. Really helps me out with YouTube. So again, if you would subscribe and like the videos, just hit the little thumbs up. Big, big help. I hope everyone had a wonderful day. I hope everyone made plenty of money. This is a great trading market. You should be able to take advantage of it. Have a great night, guys. We'll see everyone in the morning. The link to tomorrow's market preview has already been posted. Talk to y'all later.